Did you know that the whole story of Jesus' birth, death, resurrection, and the 12 disciples is actually an astronomical allegory describing celestial bodies moving through the sky? In astrology, Jesus represents the sun, and much of his history is a metaphor for the sun's journey through the sky over the course of 1 year. Born on December 25th, the sun dies, which is referring to its lowest position in the sky, which occurs around December 21st, also known as the winter solstice, and then is reborn on December 25th, as it starts to ascend again. The Son of God, a pun often pointed out. Son of God equals the Son of God. The 12 disciples equals the 12 zodiac signs. The sun moves through the 12 signs over the course of 1 year, just like Jesus travels with 12 followers. Jesus begins his ministry at 30. The sun enters a new sign roughly every 30 degrees. A full zodiac has 360 degrees. The crucifixion and resurrection are solar events. Crucifixion equals the winter solstice. On December 21st, the sun reaches its lowest point on the horizon and then appears to stand still for 3 days. Sol, S-O-L, equals sun. Stice, S-T-I-C-E, equals stand still. Solstice equals sun stands still. This is seen as the sun being crucified, symbolically dying. The constellation Crux, also known as the Southern Cross in allegorical terms, this is referring to Jesus, the quote-unquote sun, being crucified and dying on the cross. Greeks were able to see the Crux before its stars dropped below the horizon for Europe and most of the northern hemisphere, linking the disappearance of the celestial cross from the sky to the crucifixion of Christ. And then 3 days in the tomb. During those 3 days in the tomb, which is December 22nd through December 24th, the sun remains at that low position, signaling the return of longer days, the resurrection. Resurrection equals spring and new life. Jesus' resurrection aligns with the spring equinox, also known as Easter, when light begins to dominate darkness, symbolizing rebirth and new life. That's when the crops begin to grow and nature comes back to life. An ancient sign of renewal. The disciples equal the zodiac. Each disciple represents a zodiac sign. For example, Peter equals Pisces, fisher of men, symbolized by the fish. Judas is Scorpio, the betrayer, associated with the kiss of death, like the sting of a scorpion. Thomas is the twin, which is Gemini. Gemini is the twins. The Last Supper is interpreted as a depiction of the zodiac around the sun, with Jesus in the center. Then we have Bethlehem and the star in the east. Bethlehem literally means house of bread, associated with Virgo. The Virgin, also depicted holding a sheaf of wheat. The star in the east is referring to Sirius. Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky. On December 24th, it aligns with the 3 stars on Orion's belt, known as the 3 Kings. These 3 stars point toward the rising sun on December 25th. So the 3 kings follow the star to the place of the birth of the sun. Baptism, temptation, and ministry. Jesus is baptized in water, associated with Aquarius, the water bearer. He goes into the wilderness for 40 days, a symbolic period often tied to astrological time cycles. For example, from Saturday's full moon at apogee to April's total solar eclipse at new moon, it takes 40 days. The age of Pisces. Jesus is often associated with the fish, and also called the fisher of men. This corresponds to the age of Pisces, which we are now at the end of astrologically. The next age is the age of Aquarius, aka the water bearer. Hence why many say the Bible hints at this shift, especially in verses like Luke 22:10, where Jesus tells his disciples to follow a man carrying a jar of water, Aquarius. So the story of Jesus, according to this allegory, is not about a historical figure, but rather a solar myth about cycles of the sun, a battle between light and darkness, day and night, life and death, a coded spiritual calendar using the heavens as a metaphor.